This is the plaintiff, Marilyn Betancourt. She says the defendant, her landlord, has failed to protect her from crime in her apartment, so she moved out. She felt unsafe in her own home because after a break-in, he failed to fix her door and she felt threatened since it was her neighbor's nephew who robbed her. Bottom line, she got out of there lickety-split, left the place clean, and wants her $775 deposit back. This is the defendant, Edward Weinberg. He says the alleged break-in was done by the downstairs neighbor's relative and nothing of value was taken. The woman up and moved out in 2 days, and as a businessman and landlord, he has to adhere to strict rules governing move-outs. She didn't give proper notice. The law is the law, and he owes her nothing. He's accused of creating an unsafe environment. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,000, the cost to repaint the apartment.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. So the plaintiff says that she had to move. The neighbor's nephew cleaned her out, and she felt threatened. Now the defendant says, well, he says, tough for her. It's the case of, howdy, neighbor, spread them.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Marilyn Betancourt, you are suing Edward Weinberg for your former landlord for $775 in a security deposit that you say he has wrongfully withheld from you. You are counterclaiming against her $1,000 for the cost to repaint the apartment, $1,000 above and beyond the security deposit that you've kept, for the cost to repaint the apartment and cleanup costs. All right, tell me what's going on.
Sure. On May 25th, my house was broken into. The person who broke into my house, they're related to the person who lived on the first floor.
How do you know that?
After they got arrested the second day, they released the teenager, and he was upset with us, saying, because of you, the dog bit me.
What's he upset with you for? He burglarized your place.
I know.
But what did he say to you?
And actually, the person, as soon as we got home, actually, their family came to us and told us the story, you know.
Wait. The tenants downstairs came up and said, I'm so embarrassed, this is what happened?
That's right,
yes.
Yep.
And we wasn't even aware. We got home like nothing, and they knocked on the door, and we seen a little slip at the door saying the house was broken into.
That was written by whom? The cops?
The cops.
The cops.
Okay.
And we checked the back door. It was all broke, and the lock was missing, and also the room it was upside down. You know.
So the neighbors then come upstairs and say, "We're so embarrassed. This was a relative of ours." And what happened?
Well, she actually said that her nephew did not broke in. He was just at her house when the police came.
So there's no "we're so embarrassed."
Yeah.
She just says what? My nephew what?
That he wasn't involved. He was actually coming out her house when the police came and grabbed him. But a neighbor gave a positive ID. That's why.
Of him as a lookout?
Yes.
Or as the person who was actually breaking in?
It was her nephew and her brother-in-law. Her brother-in-law was the lookout, and her nephew climbed up the second floor.
Okay. So then she tells you this why? To get you to drop charges?
Yeah, like just trying to cover up for her nephew. So after that, I called the landlord, Edward, and I told him they broke into my house. The back door was broken, and he said, okay, I'll have someone come in tomorrow and fix it. After I got off of work, the door was still not fixed.
And it passed 3 days, and it kept just like the way it is. And
3
also,
days?
3 days. And when the kid got
Saturday.
released from jail, and he as soon as I got off from work, and I was like, oh, because of you, a dog bit me and this and that. I was like, I don't know.
So
I didn't call the
Because
cops.
of you? What are you doing? Because what you do wrong? You just renting the place? That's it? That's what you guys did wrong?
They was real upset. It's a big family, a lot of them, and they was upset, cussing at us and arguing. So I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe living there. I felt like my life was threatened. So
Do you have children?
Yes, I do, but they're not living with me now.
Okay, so it's the two of you living there?
Yes.
All right, so what happened?
So they know we work all day, so that's why they know when we wasn't home when they broke into the house.
Right.
So on Saturday afternoon, Edward came right when I was leaving, and he asked me to stay, and I told him I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, did you tell him you were going to move?
Yes.
When did you tell him?
I told them, I believe that was Saturday, Friday night, or that same day, Saturday morning.
Okay, and the burglary happened when?
Friday. It happened on Thursday night.
So the next day you tell him, I'm going to move, I don't feel safe. Because you have been confronted by all the family and everything else. Now, you were there until when? When did you physically move out?
Saturday.
Okay. And was the door fixed when you moved out?
No.
No.
It wasn't.
But when the incident happened, we called him, but he said, "Oh, I'll be there like this afternoon." He never showed up after 3 days, and then he still
but
haven't
you moved out
fixed it.
Saturday. The thing happened Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday
Okay.
night.
So after two days,
2 days.
I guess, it hadn't been done. All right. Now, you're keeping the deposit. Why?
I'm keeping the deposit because she didn't provide 30 days notice.
Who says she has to provide 30 days notice?
The state of Connecticut,
Show it to me.
that's in housing law.
I'm looking right at it. It doesn't say that. So you show me what you have that says that you have to provide 30 days notice. Some states require 30, some states require 15, some states, this is a month to month, right?
This is a month to
On
month,
a month to
yes.
month require nothing. What the state of Connecticut says, after a written lease expired by its terms, did you ever have a written lease?
We had a written month-to-month agreement, which I don't have with me.
Oh, wait, no. Well, that might be different. Then you might be
Which
entitled to notice. Can I have that?
No.
Well, then give it to me.
I don't have that with
That's
me.
unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
Right? That's sort of unfortunate. Do you have it?
I do have a copy of it. I also have a
God
copy.
bless her. What an honest person. Hand it over.
I also
Let me
have
see
a
it.
copy of the police report as well.
Right. When you were having these confrontations, you did not feel safe. Why didn't you feel safe?
Exactly. Well, already my house was broken into.
Right.
That was the.
But was anybody threatening you?
Yes.
Well, tell me about it.
Sure. The young teenager who broke into my house, he was bitten by the dog, and he came and approached us. He said, because of you, the dog bit me. When I see you in the streets, I'm gonna get you. And I called the cops again.
You did.
Called the cops right there, and the cops said because the auntie came out and said that he's staying with her. So the police said there's
Wait, the
nothing
guy
there.
who broke into your house is staying with her?
Yes.
No, we call the cops actually because, restricting order, and he say the cops, they say couldn't do anything because they live over there,
So what? You can still get a restraining order. That would be his problem. He's got to go find somewhere else to live besides the place he's burglarizing.
Yeah, because usually when we get out from work in the afternoon.
Okay. Was she a good tenant?
She was a good tenant.
How long was she a good tenant?
She was never a bad
In
tenant.
fact, you start the answer to the complaint with, I'd write her a letter if she asked me for one.
I
right?
would. I would still write her a
All right.
letter.
Well, then, this bad thing happens and she doesn't feel safe. I mean, would you feel safe there?
So, does she have a right to break the lease and move if she was burglarized because of the front door? What do you think?
I think definitely if she doesn't feel safe, then she should get out of there.
But she did have a lease. Does that mean anything, that she had a lease? What do you think?
Well, I don't know. He's got to keep it safe. And if she doesn't feel safe, then...
But if he fixes the front door, problem solved. She wants out. She says, I can break this lease. Does she have that right?
Too late. It's too late because all her stuff was stolen. So
Can she get out of the lease, though? Can she break that lease?
I certainly think she should be able to. Yeah.
Sound like you're hedging a little bit, ma'am. Going inside the courtroom.
I understood that they had done something to secure the door when I talked to them. What I planned to do to make them feel safer is to replace the door with something that is stronger and opens out rather than in.
Yeah, but the guy's living downstairs and he's got an axe to grind against them now because they won't drop the charges.
I never understood that the guy is living downstairs. If the person who did this, who allegedly did this, is living downstairs, then he isn't on the lease.
Right. I think you better look into it. Is the other tenant still downstairs?
Excuse me. The other tenants are still downstairs.
And in fact, at some point you offered to her that you'll evict her, the other tenant.
I don't believe that I said that.
You say he did, right?
I believe that what I was going to do before I did that, I've got to determine whether or not the person.
Well, yeah, not only that, but it'll take months to get somebody out of there if So that solution wasn't going to work. So here she is. She's living there. The place has been broken into, and the person who's been charged with, not just charged with breaking into it, but charged with, I think, resisting the officers. That's why the canine dog bit. That's what you're talking about when you say, because of you, a dog bit me. That's why the canine dog bit, the officer dog bit the defendant. Okay, then he's in jail, then he's out of jail, and then the door's still not fixed. And granted, it wasn't a long amount of time, but still, you know, if it's me in the house with the broken door, it's interminable, right? Okay, I mean, it's not like leaky plumbing. You know, it's something different. So the question then becomes this: number one,
may I add something?
No, you may not, because I'm in the middle of saying something. Okay, number one, the law in your state is you don't have to give 30 days notice. However, you can change what that is by having a contract. Let me suggest to you that in the future you should keep copies of your contracts, because she's an honest. I would want her as a tenant too. She's so honest, she whipped it right out, and there it is, 30 days notice. But here's the thing. The reason that she moves out isn't because she found another place, was happy somewhere else. It's because she didn't feel safe. Okay? If she's got a legitimate point and the place is uninhabitable for her because of these circumstances, which clearly are not your fault, I understand that, then the law does not require her to give you 30 days notice. She can't live there. Her life is threatened by a guy who supposedly is living downstairs, and if not, is a nephew and knows exactly where she lives and is mad at her for not, you know, dropping. I mean, she wouldn't have left. You and I both know she wouldn't have left. She was happy there. Everything was fine. She's not like a snake trying to make up this stuff to try to have a reason. You think she wants to have to move out and pack up her stuff and find somebody? They didn't. They were happy there. All right, the next issue becomes, according to you, you're keeping it not just because of notice, but also because of the cost to repaint the apartment. Tell me about that.
Well, there are a couple of issues. First, she left some furniture. They left some car parts.
And these are pictures?
These are pictures.
Did you leave this sofa and this wall unit behind?
I did.
Oh, you can't do that. What's that here? What's that, a door?
That's
just the door.
Those are car doors.
Car doors. What were you guys?
No, those are not mine.
The doors are not yours. Is this in the garage? It could be the other tenant.
That is in a garage.
Okay, so it could be the other tenant.
He does fix cars. I thought they were his.
Okay, so
I don't have before and after pictures of the garage.
Okay, so it's the couch and the wall unit. Anything else?
And
a hole in the wall. Okay.
Right. Now,
all right, but that's certainly not $775, right? In fact, you've got a little note here from somebody. Who are you? Are you moral support or a witness?
A moral support.
Moral support. Have a seat, man. Relax. I thought you were going to testify. All right, so he's not this guy either.
No, that's a note. That's a receipt from the person who came
says
with the
that
van.
for $100 they took out the wall unit, and the wall unit is a little glorified. I mean, it's a little TV center and the couch. That cost you $100. So now the cost to repaint the apartment. What's the problem with painting with the apartment?
The apartment wasn't painted well.
Okay, can you prove that?
No, ma'am, I cannot.
That's right. Then you shouldn't keep her money. Okay, you should keep $100 of it, which is what would be fair, because that's what somebody charged you to take out those two things. All right, and you painted that apartment with his permission.
Yes, I did.
Did he know what colors you were painting it?
I wanted it wine, but he said it was too dark, so he bought the navy blue.
So he bought the color.
He bought the color, and I painted the house.
Because in the answer to the complaint, it sounds like you're complaining about the color. He's the one who bought the color.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And in the 2 years you lived there, did he ever say, "Oh, this is a really sloppy job"?
No.
Nope.
Okay. $675 verdict for the plaintiff on your countersuit against them, 0. And frankly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
So the landlord comes out with nothing. He did get to keep 100 of it. Come on in here. What do you think of this outcome?
I think that she had 30 days and should have had to pay for 30 days.
Well, you were wrong.
Yes.
Right. So that's what we call having a judgment against you. So now you realize that maybe you should have done something a little differently when she felt threatened?
Possibly.
Okay. Right down that way. All right. So he's satisfied how this comes out now?
Yes, I'm very happy.
All right. He didn't seem very, think he cared?
I don't think so. He's not a responsible landlord. He's not.
What should he have done to keep you there?
Just to be a fair man. He know I've been a good tenant for over 2 years. Just be good and fair.
And do what exactly?
Exactly.
Fix the back door?
Exactly. When I first called him, that was the first thing he should have done. Come and fix the back door.
And so where you live now is better?
Well, I'm planning on getting a better place now, yes.
Okay. Over to Harvey.
Okay, just FYI, landlords have a legal duty to make sure that the building that the landlord provides is safe, and that means front doors, lights in the garage, etc. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.